Hi there, and welcome to Graham's Guide Friday Live, this Friday, the 19th of November. Let's get straight into it. So, on today's agenda, I'm going to do a walkthrough of week one and revisit the unit and course goals to make sure you're on track there, and then also show you how to easily find the essential readings each week so that you won't be concerned that you're missing out on critical information. So, underpinning today's, it sort of looks like these are not connected, but these actually absolutely are connected. And where I'm going with this is the reason why I want to revisit week one is because I have very good students and have had very good students in the past who engage well, they participate well, they're moving really well through the weekly assignments and activities and discussion boards. And then they get to the assignment three, the 40% assignment three, and fall over because they've missed a couple of critical pieces of information in week one that meant that they didn't set themselves up with their unit and course goals the way that we want you to. And so I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So let's go so this is the our unit, of course, as you know. And so let me go into the modules and go to week one focus. And so I'm going to skip through the stuff. I'm going to go to the important bits that where I think it's possible that you might have missed some critical information. So moving on to the next bit. So this is where you do your introduction. That's all fine. Great introduction, great video introductions, by the way. I love these. So this is the first bit we come to where we introduce the essential reading, the future work skills 2020 reading. Now at this point, all of you should have stopped on this page and opened the future work skills reading. I have it here behind somewhere. Where is it? Not here. Oh, well, this is the criteria for assignment three, where you're getting marked on reflection of self, and you need to reflect on your progress toward your unit and course goals. So this is why what I'm talking about today is important. Let me get rid of that. So you got to module 1.3, I think it was, and we're talking about the future work skills unit. You should have come here, printed this out, or not necessarily printed out because we're trying to save paper. And also, actually, I keep mine in Adobe Acrobat, Adobe Acrobat Reader, which is free because you can annotate here. You can put comments on here. So you should have sort of read through this, and this might be heavy going for some of you, and that's okay because this might be the very first piece of academic level reading that you've had to do. So my advice is just to, scan through here and try and get an idea for what this is about. Now, this is talking about future work skills, and these future work skills that they've come up with are based on 6 drivers of change. Now, that might sound a bit technical, but really a driver of change is just something that is the reason why we're changing. So the first one here they've got here is extreme longevity. So we're living longer. That's a driver of change. The fact that we're all living longer means that we need to change some things. Here's the second one here is the rise of smart machines and systems. So what's that AI stand for? I can't remember. Automated something. Sorry, I've got a mind blank. Anyway, smart systems are changing the way we live and work. We're working with, robots are calling us on the phone and telling us to buy products. when we call organizations, we're talking to a robot on the phone who puts us through to the person we want to talk to. So automation is a driver of change. Computational world, a new media ecology, so the internet and new ways of communicating. These are drivers of change. A globally connected world, superstructured, globally connected world is a big driver of change for me, and so the skills that are connected to a globally connected world are some of the skills that I find critical for my work. So this center page shows you the 6 drivers of change, extreme longevity through to globally connected world. And here in the center are the 10 future work skills, the 10 skills that the authors of this report believe will be important for our future careers. And when we're talking about future careers, we'll even our future living on the planet and the way we communicate with our friends, relatives, work colleagues, community organizations, basketball teams, other sports teams, all sorts of recreational pursuits will require skills that some of which we're only developing now. And some of which we've developed very quickly in the last 12 months. I'm thinking of Zoom technology. So people who have never communicated with Zoom and never thought they were going to use online video to talk to other people, I'm thinking of grandparents, are now using online technologies to communicate with each other. So these are skills that some people never thought they would be using, but now they're using. So the skill. So I mentioned globally connected world, and so there are this orange bit here is connected to these. So virtual collaboration is very important for my work. Also cross-cultural competency is also, I'm dealing with people from all different cultures, and not only geographic cultures, but also age cultures, different political persuasions and religious persuasions. And it's important to be competent in your communication across cultures, cultures beyond your own. Social intelligence is another one. Novel and adaptive thinking. I won't go into the details of these, but I'm hoping that you can see here that this future work skills report is talking about future skills, and maybe I'm hoping that for those of you who found this heavy reading, I'm deconstructing it a little bit so you can see what this report is actually about. It's a really interesting report, even though it's nearly 10 years old now. But I'm going to show you an updated version of this in just a moment. So as we go on to the next, after these center pages, then it breaks down these future work skills and it talks a little bit about them. And I say a little bit because the document I'm about to show you talks more about each of these future skills. So that's the future work skills report. Now, the other document that I want to show you is written by a couple of the authors that wrote this one, and I have it here. It's called Future Work Skills Update and Literature Review. I'm going to provide a link to this, or I'll upload it somewhere in our discussion board so you have access to it, because this is, I think this was authored in about 2016, I think. And one of the reasons why I like this is because those future work skills that I was just talking about, it does a couple of things. It breaks them down into areas. So these ones are considered people skills. So cross-cultural competency, social intelligence, and virtual collaboration. People skills, the ability to be a team player. Whereas these next three are more about applied knowledge and the ability to logically analyze information. And these last four are more likely to be workplace skills. And here it says the ability to solve problems and make decisions. So I think seeing these 10 skills separated into these three areas is helpful for when you're looking for what skills might be useful to you as a goal to develop in this unit or for your course. So the second reason why I like this report is because it goes into greater detail. So there's more information here. I'm just going to go past this introductory information down to the first one that it's covering. It's covering cross-cultural competency. And so see, this is a lot more information here than what was covered in the Future Work Skills 2020 report. But in addition to this, it provides more background and definitions on cross-cultural competency. And in fact, it goes through all of those 10 future work skills. So you might think, how many pages is this? 42 pages. Okay, so 42 pages. You don't want to read 42 pages. Well, maybe you do want to, and that's okay too. But what I'm suggesting is that if you don't have time to read this 42-page report, go back to the start here and think about your career goals or your aspirations, where you're headed towards, what your future endeavors might be, and what of these future work skills are most likely to be important for you. And then only read those sections. So you might be interested in cross-cultural competency and novel and adaptive thinking. We'll have a close read of those two sections and scan the others. You don't need to read this entire 42-page report, all right? So that's one hint, guide, whatever it is I'm trying to say. Let me go back to the other page. Oh, you can see my what's that? That's my it's the system I use to make these videos. All right, that's enough of that. I want to go back to the web page. Alrighty, so let's move forward. That's where you should have stopped at 1.3 and read the Future Work Skills unit. So if you haven't read the Future Work Skills report, rather, do that. Okay, moving forward, we go to 1.4, and then there's some more talk about the discussions. I don't want to highlight anything here. And then we get into the developing professional. I don't want to highlight anything here either, although there is a really good activity here that checks your knowledge on what you've read. So I suggest working through this task. It's really good and helps you let you know whether you've what knowledge you've gained from reading the Future Work Skills report. You can test that here. Also at the bottom here, there's that list of codes of ethics and codes of conduct, but that's not what I want to draw your attention to. Let me keep going. Then there's the dream careers discussion. Okay, this is one area that I do want to direct your knowledge to, direct your attention to. This is asking you to look for a job on Seek or wherever you're going to look for a job. Once you've found a job, it wants you to, in the key selection criteria or in the job description, there are going to be skills there, attributes, or areas of knowledge that you may have now that you want to improve on, or that you don't have and you want to develop to help you get that particular job or whatever your future endeavor is. So it wants you to find one specific skill that will help you in this unit, and one that will help you throughout your course. And we're talking about transferable skills. So let's go quickly into, I've got three jobs here. Here are three jobs I prepared earlier. There's one here for a psychologist in New South Wales. It's for an ongoing position, Long Bay, Surrey Hills. And down here, we scroll down and we get down to the key responsibilities. And so what I suggest you do is you try and find if any of these key responsibilities could be connected to any of those future work skills. And I did have a look before. I saw a couple of here, contributing to the research and training on the assessment and treatment of offenders. This is talking about research. So academic research might be academic communication and research might be a skill that you would like to develop in the course of this unit. There was another one here I thought, liaison with key stakeholders, such as community corrections, extended officers. So liaison with key stakeholders is going to require social intelligence. It may involve cross-cultural competency. There are all sorts of ways you could link, you could find a future work skill that would be fit in with these key responsibilities. And the idea of these tasks and activities in week 1 or 2 are to help you try and find what the employers are looking for, what skill are they looking for that you can start to develop now, in your first unit at university, and then thinking about what skill that they're looking for that you want to develop over the course of your course, over the duration of your course. Let's have a quick look at another one here. There's a job for a classroom teacher in Victoria, and key selection criteria here I saw demonstrated interpersonal and communication skills. Okay, so you get this virtual collaboration is one of those skills in the Future Work Skills program. You can see what I'm talking about here. And the last one was a communications officer. Well, that goes without saying, good communications is important, but let me go down to see the key duties. There was a couple here that I thought were right on. Develop and maintain effective working relationships. So there are future work skills there. So again, social intelligence, novel and adaptive thinking. There's a whole lot of really good connections that could be made between these 3 jobs and the skills that are in the future work skills report. And so here in 1.6, when it's talking about find a job and find a skill that you would like to develop in this unit, it's talking about finding a skill that you can connect to. We'd like you to use the future work skills as inspiration. They're really excellent inspiration for future work skills, but you don't have to use them. You can find another, but it would need to be a specific skill, a specific goal that you're working towards. So let's continue on. So where are we? We're in 1.6. Let's go on to 1.7. Okay, so the week in review. So this is where you can find the essential readings. So here it's got the essential readings. Just click on the little down arrow, and that's where you can find the essential readings. So every week has a week in review where you can find the essential readings for that week. Let's move on to our current week, which is week 2. And let me just take you into, this is an excellent video. Highly recommend watching this video about learning in the digital age. Here are some essential readings at the bottom of the page here. Metacognition is, I think, an ideal skill to develop as a unit or course goal. Moving on, so then it's providing you the other models of learning. Social constructivism is another excellent skill or attribute to have an area of knowledge. So when it's talking about skills, you might refer to the future work skills report. And if you're thinking about attributes and areas of knowledge, well, metacognition and social constructivism are areas of knowledge, specific areas of knowledge that you could improve or develop as part of your unit or course goals. Okay, so I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover there. So in the general Q&A, just before I finish, is that what I was going to do? Yeah, so in the general Q&A, how do I get there? Let me go to one of the things. Yeah, so in the general Q&A at the very top of the list, if you go in there and scroll down a little, you will find I put a table there where you can input your name and your learning group, and then you can put in, if one of the goals that I've got here, you can just click on the button. If you've got a different unit goal, then just click on other and pop your other unit goal in there. Do not make the goal I want to complete the degree, or I want to make sure I want to do 3 units every year for 3 years so I complete my degree quickly. So those are not specific goals. Don't put in goals like I want to at least pass every unit. Don't put a goal in I want to receive a HD, at least one HD a year. These are not the sort of goals we're looking for. We're looking for goals that are skills related goals. This is the thing that sometimes students miss, that the goal in assignment 3 that you're talking about, the unit goal and course goal, are skills-based goals, or areas of knowledge goals, such as those areas I've just mentioned to you. So find a skill from the future work skills reading, or alternatively, one of those in 2.2, these learning, sorry, I'm just going on to this one. One of these areas of knowledge would be suitable. Constructivism, metacognition, or social constructivism as an area of knowledge that you want to improve on or develop, they would also be an ideal and specific skill or attribute or area of knowledge that you want to develop or improve on. Okay, so I've gone for 21 minutes, 22 minutes. That's definitely more than enough from me. I hope that's been helpful to you, that walkthrough, a review of the unit and course goals, and I've shown you how to find the essential readings. Just quickly, before I go, if you click on modules and then go to the very bottom of this page, there's a list here, a reference list, with all of the sources that we use in this unit for every week. So there's there's Chew, and here is Livingston, and I will also provide you with some resources that will be helpful to you as well as we go through the unit. Thanks for joining me today, and thanks for your patience for this 23 minutes we're coming up to. I'll see you in the discussion boards. From me, it's bye for now.